All right, you guys, so it's 8:30 right now. I can't believe I'm trying to go for 175 miles. This is gonna be pretty crazy. I'll take you guys through the day, try to update you as much as possible, and yeah, hopefully we can get this done within, I wanna say 10 hours. It's gonna be pretty crazy. All right, guys, so we're about 40 minutes in. So far, everything's been going great. I do have some fatigue in my legs from yesterday, which is kind of a bummer. I did do 70 miles yesterday, and it's Sunday, and I've actually already ridden 365 miles this week. But at the end of the day, I'm not even focused on that. When it comes down to these super long rides, to all of you cyclists out there, the main two things I focus on are energy conservation and comfort in the saddle. I decided to put a little 10-hour time limit on this, but what really matters more to me is completing it and also being comfortable while I'm doing it, because if you're not comfortable, it makes the entire ride suck. Anyways, I got a decent amount of climbing left, and then we'll hit the coast. And now for the scariest part of this adventure, riding the bike on the freeway. I'll let you guys know why I have to do this in, well, in this video I will at some point. Alright, you guys, so it's about 1:15 right now. I've done about 75 miles. I stopped to take a break, like a 2-minute break, to get some nutrition in. I'm doing energy blocks, and I've got some other stuff too that I'll be eating along the way, but honestly, I'm not really that hungry. Salted caramel. Now my battery's at about, it's already about half gone. Let's see, we're about as far north as possible. We're in San Onofre right now. So now it's time to head back south and then go east and hopefully find my way back home. Tastes like fruit snacks. Let's go! Alright, you guys, so it's about 5:30 right now. We're about 150 miles in. Looks like I'm not gonna make it in under 10 hours, but regardless, I'm still gonna give it everything I got. It's been a crazy ride.
A few moments later.
Right in my way. Okay, you guys. Wow. So unfortunately, my GoPro decided to run out of battery. Well, it was very close to running out of battery. I unfortunately did not get the ride done in under 10 hours like I wanted to. It's 2 days later, it's actually 3 days later. And just to give you guys an indication of how brutal that ride was, I usually take one rest day a week or active rest day, and I had to take 2 rest days. And so it's now day 3, finally feeling better. It's not really that it had like a huge impact on me. It was just more of a mental thing. I just like, okay, you know what? I spent 10 hours and 40 minutes on the bike. I definitely need more than just a day off. So I know a lot of you are gonna have questions about really what I do going into these big rides, runs, whatever it is. And if you guys want me to make a separate video on that, I definitely can do that. In a nutshell, it's not so much a physical process, it's more of a mental process for me. And to be honest, I really didn't give myself a ton of preparation for this. I decided, I believe, Friday, which was 2 days before the ride actually happened, that I wanted to do it. So I pretty much just went into it like that. And yeah, so if you guys want me to make a separate video on preparing for stuff like this, let me know and I'll be sure to do it. Comment down below prep if you want to see a video like that. But anyways, a lot of you really want to know also like what my nutrition looks like before going into things like this. And to be honest, it's really, I don't really do anything tremendously different. I just eat a few extra carbs the night before, and it's not really that complicated for me. I just know that the next day I'm going to have a really big ride, so therefore I'm going to need more fuel in my system. So it's really not something I tend to overcomplicate. I do limit my vegetable intake the night before. I'm not eating, I don't like to eat a ton of volume before I go into rides like this, just because for like when you're gonna be on a bike for 10 to 11, 12, whatever hours, you want energy in your system. You want food that's going to be giving you energy over extended periods of time. You know, rice, potatoes, more potatoes, and usually add in like a fat source so that it's digested over a longer period of time. And obviously now that I'm eating on the bike, it makes things a lot easier. What I noticed with the ride is I climbed, so I didn't map out this route before I did it. I kind of just went into it. First mistake for me, because if I would have done things differently, I probably wouldn't have climbed 3,000. I think I climbed about, actually almost 4,000 feet in the first 30 miles of the ride. So that kind of sets you up for like, really not, it's not good to climb that much if you're gonna do a long ride like that. So next time I'm probably going to go for a more flat route before I decide to ride that much. The day before I did this ride, I believe I did 72 miles, which was that was a pretty big mistake for me. Usually I'm fine with doing things like that, but I believe before I did my 150-mile ride, I did like 60 miles the day before, and so I thought I'd be fine. If I do attempt 200 miles, I'm gonna taper off my riding the day before or the days before I do that, because that's going to be one very, 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 very crazy ride if I do decide to do that. I'm still debating on all of that. I definitely should have packed a bit more when it comes to nutrition. I know a lot of you, I mean, if you guys have seen my videos on my other channel, The Electrics, where I rode 150 miles, I brought Skittles and stuff like that. And honestly, folks, I get a lot of questions about what I eat during my rides and what to eat during your rides. And I kind of do that, like it's a joke, but it's not a joke at the same time, because it's sugar. Your body's going to prefer that during super long, strenuous rides. I got a lot of people asking me like, do you really eat Skittles? And when it comes to like my day-to-day stuff, like if I'm not filming a video, if I'm not doing a stupid long ride like that, I'm probably not gonna eat Skittles, which is why I decided to include like these. It's basically the same thing as Skittles, with like a little bit more sodium, and actually the sodium's probably about the same. The sugar content's the same. It's just basically carbohydrates. I really like these blocks. I brought blocks, but I didn't bring enough goos. I found that eating I had 5 goos, I had 2 packages of blocks, I had 2 bottles of Gatorade, and I had 2 Noon energy tablets. That was like my total. Oh, and I had a Stinger waffle. So in total, I probably had about 1,100 to 1,200 calories on the actual ride over a period of about 10 to 10 and a half hours. It's weird because the moving time on Strava was different from the computer moving time. So, but regardless, I didn't get it done under 10 hours. But anyways, so I had about 1,200 calories on the ride itself. For me, I'm not used to, like I've said to you guys a lot, I don't usually eat on my rides, but then again, I'm usually not doing rides that are this long. So next time, I'm definitely gonna bring more of these blocks. I found that the blocks really hit me a lot harder and gave me more energy than the Goos did, which is really weird because the Goos have about like 20 milligrams of caffeine in them. I didn't bring the ones that didn't have any caffeine. But regardless, I feel like if I would have brought a little bit more, I probably would have felt a little bit better at the end of the ride. Lastly, I know you guys, well, I mean, honestly, I do this third channel and you know, it's become something, I'm having fun with it, but at the same time, I really, pulling out my camera and trying to film everything, whether it's eating or just like a B-roll shot or just me just on my bike in general while trying to complete a long ride in like a certain amount of time is just, it's really not feasible. It's really hard to do. It makes me really wish I had like a cameraman that was following me around for the entire 10 hours, but I don't have that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the shots that I got. I actually use a mount. This is a GoPro mount that is, I actually saw on YouTube. There's another YouTuber that uses it, I can't remember his name, but it mounts to your mouth and the GoPro goes here. So that's how I get most of my shots. But having to constantly pull that out and film, pull it out and film, pull it off, it's just, it gets to be pretty, it takes away from my ride for sure. So but I definitely wanted to film this for you guys and I wanted to kind of go through everything with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the footage that I did get. So I know a lot of you are probably wondering, okay, you ate like 1,200 calories during your ride. What about after? Like how many calories did you burn? Since I'm using a power meter now, I can actually get a very accurate, I'm still gonna say estimation of my expenditure. And it was, I believe it said about 5,600. I know like that's like, there's like two questions that people usually ask me and that's all they usually ask is like, what do you eat and how many calories do you burn? I could go on a huge tangent about that, but that's just what people want to know, I guess. My expenditure said about 5,600, so I knew I was around total, probably around 7,500 calories total burned for the day, which is a lot of calories. So Christy and I were planning on filming a video that night and I made a video for our channel. So if you guys want to go check that out, you definitely can go check it out. I'm not gonna post like, this is kind of the whole thing with these videos. Like I know that these videos will, depending on how I decide to structure all of this for you guys, like that's why people focus on my eating so much. And I realize that, you know, like for example, on this channel, if I do like a full day of eating and training and there's food in the thumbnail, it's gonna get, people are gonna be way more interested in that than a full day of training. You know, it's just the way that things are with me. And I realize that wherever I go, you know, if I make a fourth channel and I start to be, you know, a professional poker player, it's gonna be like, what did you eat during that poker game, Erik? What did you use to fuel that poker session, man? But it's like, you guys get the picture. It's with what I do and what I've kind of established for myself over the years, people just know me for food and I get that. But at the end of the day, like I'm not gonna make every single channel that I have about food. You know, this isn't gonna be Erik's third eating channel. Like this is my third channel that's dedicated to more of me, and I hope you guys enjoy that too. I know I got a lot of responses after the last video where I did like a full day of eating and training because it has food in the thumbnail. So regardless, that's why I didn't include every single thing I ate during the ride, because honestly, the food is food. The ride was so much more important than all of that. And I realized that like there's a small percentage of you that actually are endurance athletes that do ride bikes, that run, that swim, that do all the things that I like to do, or I'm trying to get myself to like to do, mainly aimed at swimming. But regardless, it's just something that I was thinking about. So I'm not gonna blabber on anymore about that. I know I've got 200 miles on my mind. Oh, I need to take some recovery time before I do that. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to let me know down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed it.